Okay, hello, thank you. My name is Mindy Robbin. My full name is Melinda Joan Phillips Robbin. Phillips was my maiden name. My parents were David and Annette Phillips, and my mother, Annette Phillips, was one of four children from the Trask family, Trask. My grandparents were Hyman and Yetta Trask, who originally came from Pinsk in Russia. They came to America. Well, actually, they had four children. My two aunts and my mother, an aunt, and two uncles. My grandfather and my aunt, who was the oldest in the family, came from Russia to America. My eldest cousin, who is still alive, who's about 90, tells me that the reason why my grandfather came with my aunt was because it was common knowledge that men who came over from the old country kind of forgot about their families there and started new families in America. So my grandmother felt that if she sent him with the baby at the time or with the daughter at the time, that wouldn't happen. And in fact, they were here for some time, I don't know how many years, and then they brought over the rest of my family. My grandparents had, as I said, four children. My Aunt Sylvia, who married Paul Lefko. My Uncle David Trask, who eventually became an attorney and then became a judge here in Miami. My Uncle Morris Trask, who was a well-known pharmacist here. And my mother, who was married to my father, and they all came to America and lived in New York until my grandfather developed emphysema, and my family was very, very close. So they moved en masse, all of the family, to Los Angeles. That is where my mother and father met, and I actually was born in Los Angeles in 1950. Before they moved, my grandfather, when they lived in New York, had a painting contracting business, and he actually painted Yeshiva University. And when he heard that that painting job was becoming available, he said, that's the job for me. And he, in fact, did paint Yeshiva University. I don't know the whole thing, but at any rate. So, as I said, they moved en masse, and they lived in Los Angeles for a time. Then my uncle, David Trask, became an attorney there. However, my grandfather deteriorated some more, and it was difficult for him to tolerate even the cold weather in Los Angeles. So en masse, they moved to Miami Beach. I was already born. They moved to Miami Beach in about 1953 or 1954, and we all lived here. My father had a haberdashery business. He had a men's store on Collins Avenue. One of my uncles, as I said, was a pharmacist, and my other uncle was an attorney, and my mother was taking care of me as a child. Subsequently, when I became a little older, my mother actually went to work for the Zionist Organization of Israel, the ZOA. We always had very strong Jewish ties. When I began school, I was in public school for, I guess, kindergarten, first and second grade in Biscayne Elementary in Miami Beach, and then my mother and grandmother decided that's not for Mindy anymore, and they sent me to the Hebrew Academy. And I first entered the Hebrew Academy in 1957, an old building on Jefferson Avenue and 6th Street in Miami Beach. And I graduated there through high school. I went to Stern College, graduated from there, and also actually I was the Miami representative interviewing students who were either transfer students or wanted to enter Stern College and Yeshiva University. And so I appreciate this time of being interviewed, and thank you very much.